Hey guys, I am so happy that you could be here and check out our new video that we're going forward. So we are going to be working on a new save file and storyline. This is Cahaya save file, and we are working on something fun and creative that I have put together. This is the Shores of Cahaya gameplay, and this video here is we're going to be introducing the residents of Cahaya. InZoi is a new life simulation game that is in early access. If you haven't heard, you can go download this over on Steam if you'd like to try it out in its early state. But we are going in and I've made a custom save file where we've created characters, residents that we're going to play through in an episode series style. So I'm going to go through and show you the characters, the character sheets that I've created that we're hoping that we can pan through, and I've physically created majority of this myself. I've gone in and redone some of the builds, kept some of the NPCs just scattered around because I didn't want every household to be just my characters. I want there to be NPCs. How we're doing this EP is that we are going to interact with all the families during one episode that we will be doing. So the families that I have are the Uso family, the Barclays, the Talfuas, the Montgomery and Phillips, and they are all going to intermingle in some way. So we have our first family here, and they are living at the resort. They are the Talfua family. This family is the crime mob family of Cahaya. They are run by Miss Tuti Talfua herself, and we will get to meet her. She is our elder, and she has twins that she is going to be introducing as she's cooking for them right now. This is Miss Tuti, and we're going to talk a little bit about her. So, Miss Tuti Talfua is 47 years old. She is a woman. She is currently retired. She doesn't really run the business much anymore. Her husband was mainly the one in charge when she kind of took a step back, but he got busted and he actually died in prison. So now it's up to her to finally go through and get her twins ready to take over the family business. So they are Cahaya born and raised. Their family is well known in the good and bad way. She is a leader. She lives a life of excitement, and her strength is she's a protector, but her weakness is her emotions take over, and sometimes those choices kind of hurt everyone that's around her. Her biggest long-term goal is to really pass the business on to her kids, and then her kids keep it up to pass it up to her grandkids, and so on and so forth. She loves baking, she loves art, she loves piano, and she enjoys taking care of her family. She dislikes people that think little of her just because she is in this crime mob family. And if she needs to, she will pull the muscle when needed. She's not shy of that at all. She loves her kids and she loves her family of what they have bonded here and everything like that. So the next in line that she is really, really tough with is her daughter Fetu. Fetu is a go-getter. She knows that her family is in power. She knows that she's up next in line. She is the oldest of the twins, only by a couple of minutes, of course, but she does not let that get in the way. She lets everyone know that she is a Talfua. She is proud of that. She holds her head high when she has to be the muscle. She is not scared of that. Her occupation right now is she works on the street. She's a crook. I mean, she's running the family. She's starting to run the family business exactly how her mom wants her to. And she's really, really ready to take that on. She can be nice to the people that she finally lets into her life, but starting off, she comes off very cold, very mean. She can look at someone and decide, I'm going to be mean to them or I'm going to be nice to them. It usually turns out mean because she wants people to know that her family can pull anything. She is authoritarian. She has a life of freedom. She wants to continue to live her life free, things handed to her. She is very business savvy and street smart, but her impulses carry her away, and sometimes she goes way too far. So she gets a little bit of her emotional state from her mom, but she physically will take things too far, almost to the point where she handles things herself when they clearly have the muscle to do that. Now, she is very big on keeping the family business. She wants to be the one in charge, and of course her mom wants her to have babies, but she's not ready to do that or want to get close to that, because she feels like once she gets married and have kids, her husband will get into the family and then she'll kind of be put on the back burner being the woman. Now, of course, she has a brother, which she is semi-close with. They butt heads a lot because she knows that if she doesn't get married and find a husband, her brother would probably be the head of it because he is a male. But he isn't exactly the greatest choice to take on the family, and she knows it, and I think part of her mom knows it, but they've always just seen a strength in Fetu, that they kind of push her a little bit more to get things rolling. Asuelu is a mama's boy. He loves his mom, he loves the family, but he also knows that he is a cute one. He has a thing for the ladies, and he knows it, and he enjoys it 100%. And he kind of uses that to his advantage, knowing the family that he has. So Asuelu, again, 22, Leo, he's a twin. He is a charmer and a life of romance. He is great with his words, and a lot of the women on the island know that he's a part of the Taufua family, but they also love his looks, and they would willingly risk it all. He always has a range of women chasing after him, and also a range of women that are fighting over him, and he likes to sit back and watch. So he gets crowded with a lot of females, so therefore Fetu is always cleaning up for him, covering up for him, trying to make sure he stays out of prison, because he's always fighting someone, who's already taken, so he's fighting their boyfriend because he reminds them who he is. So he knows and uses his power, but he also uses his charm to woo a lot of women, but it always finds him in trouble. So that's another thing that Fetu is always worried about, that her brother is always in the wrong place during the wrong situation, when she needs him and when the family needs him. So they argue quite a bit because she's all about business and he just wants to love in a nutshell. So this family, I feel like, is going to be a lot of fun to play with, because we also have the access to the crime job. So that's how we're tying in this family. In a nutshell, they own half of this resort. There is another family out there that runs a big ship and runs money, but they are kind of fighting with them, the Cruz family, so they try and take over the entire island because they are natives here, and the Cruz family moved in from Bliss Bay, so they're just trying to keep their native land to themselves. Moving to the Barkley family. They are a family that moved here from Bliss Bay. They are a blended family with Thomas Barkley and Ajada, his daughter. Now, before they moved here, Thomas had divorced his wife officially after his wife just kept running off. She would come home inebriated, and she finally gave up her rights to their daughter, and the divorce was inevitable. Well, he ran into a younger mate, Kimberly, but let's talk a little bit more about his life. So, as I said, Thomas Barkley, he is a tourist, and he worked at the Zoopedia here on the island. He was a broker in Bliss Bay. He is 51 years old, and again, he brought his daughter to Cahaya after a falling out and divorce from his first wife, and he now has full rights to her, a full-time dad, and now that she is an adult, he moved here, and she wanted to follow because there was nothing waiting for her in Bliss Bay. He's very close with his daughter, Ajada. He would do anything for her, and he always just wanted to find more love. He is book smart, he's a family man, but he dwells on the past way too much, and he's always focusing on preventing the future, which we know the future is hard to prevent, and he dwells on that a lot. His main goal is to really just end out his years happy, in love with his family, wants to be a grandfather one day. He loves reading, repairing, and fishing. He just likes spicy food, dancing, and really just hates when the ex-wife constantly pops up. Yes, she gave up her rights, but she's always trying to come back for money and just reminisce on the times that she feels like he should still help him. Well, since he decided to go back into love field, he found a love that is 20 years younger than him, and that is his new wife, Kimberly. Kimberly is 20 years younger than him, and she was a lawyer in Bliss Bay, and she always wanted to move to Cahaya because she felt like her lawyer duties were much better needed in a community where she could help people. So Kimberly did not know that she was going to find a love in Thomas, especially 20 years older than him. But when they met, she fell in love instantly. Her family was really against it. And for her, she was like, look, I'm going to go into this. I know my family doesn't like it. You want to move to Cahaya. I want to move to Cahaya. Let's just get married, blended, and go on. And that's exactly what they did. And she is not regretting it whatsoever. Well, maybe just a little bit. She's starting to realize that the daughter is 10 years younger than her, so she's trying to be a stepmom to her as well. And then having him 20 years his senior, she still wants to be a mother, and so he has decided to try and have another baby with her, but they've been struggling a little bit. So Kimberly is 32 years old. She is a Capricorn. She is still a lawyer here in Cahaya as well. She is a Bliss Bay born and native, just like Thomas and Ajada. She has no children, but she fell in love with Thomas and was willing to become a stepmother as long as he agreed to try and have another baby with her. She followed her dreams as a lawyer, and it was great in Bliss Bay. But again, she felt like she wanted to be somewhere where people needed her, and Cahaya was the perfect place. She's a scholar, and she lives a life of responsibility. She's a great listener, but she's very argumentative. Of course, she's a lawyer. She wants to get established as a great lawyer in Cahaya, but her main goal is she wants to settle down even more and have a baby with Thomas so he can enjoy the end of his life, and she can grow up with a loving family. Her biggest fear is that she won't be able to become a mom, and she doesn't want to feel like she's wasting her time with such an older man, and she may lose something in the midst of that. She loves music, dancing, art, and conversation, and of course she dislikes criminals, and she's not a fan of video games. So with her being a new stepmom, a new wife, and trying to get pregnant, she has a lot to work up to. Now we have Miss Ajada, who Ajada is a very kind, soft-hearted girl. She's been through a lot, dealing with her mom giving her up. And when her dad said that he was going to be moving to Cahaya with Kimberly, she said, why not? I want to go with you. Why not start over? My mom doesn't want me. She's tried to push forward and have a life for her even after giving her up, and she was just done. The best way to put it is she is most likely a tree hugger and an animal lover at the same time. She works at the sea turtle conservation, and she loves animals, and she loves that she gets to do something that is helping out the environment, especially sea turtles. She loves animals. With Ajada and all the things that she went through, she is shy, she is headstrong, but she does want to start over and maybe even find love here on the island. She is 22 years old, also a Sagittarius. She is an aspiring reporter as well. So she wants to report on the animals and just really get everyone behind her. So she's going to try and use that for herself. But she wants to work with the sea turtles first and then find her career as a reporter. So she moved to Cahaya with her dad, who again, she is very, very close with. She's trying to get comfortable with her new stepmom. They are very close in age, so she kind of gets her and she likes that. But at the same time, she has a hard time taking authority from her, knowing that they are closer in age. Life wasn't fantastic for her in Bliss Bay, but it wasn't terrible. Her dad always made sure that she was protected from her mom coming home drunk and inebriated and then the fighting. But she doesn't pretend like her life has been sunshine and rainbows. She's a really hard worker. She is a social activist, and she lives a life of contribution. She cares about all walks of life and is always trying to do better for the environment. She's really troubled by her mom. Certain things trigger her. So she gets really just depressed and her anxiety is really high because has a fear of people just up and leaving her. She wants to start saving the sea turtles. That is her short term. But it's the long term. She does want to make a change for the troubled youth, as well as being a reporter and just really trying to clean up the environment. She likes helping others. She likes reading, gardening, and painting. She dislikes spicy food and meat. So she's really just getting into her way here in Cahaya and trying to just make the most of it. She spends most of her time out of the house because her stepmom is either always talking about lawyer stuff. Her dad is just always grilling her of, are you okay? Are you good? And she's like, just let me do me. Just let me be who I need to be, please. So she spends a lot of time out of the house, if not with the sea turtles, on the beach, and with one of her best friends who is an island native of Chantal, who we're going to meet next. So Miss Chantal is an island native, and like I said, she is a Jada's best friend. She actually is an island native. Her parents are not. Her parents moved to Cahaya when they were pregnant with Chantal, and then they ended up having her here and staying. So Chantal Montgomery loves the island life. She does not want to be anywhere else. This is where she's gonna stay. This is where she wants her family, and this is where she wants her yoga and meditation career to take off. So she currently is a yoga instructor. She loves the culture here. She lives it daily. Harmony is her outreach. Anyone that comes to her know that she preaches love and harmony all the time. She's not a fighter. She's definitely a lover. So when she is here on the island, she is all about tradition. But she did not know that she was going to fall in love with someone of the nature that she found. Chantal Montgomery is 20 years old. She is a Virgo, and she is a yoga instructor. Again, she was born and raised here, but her parents are from Bliss Bay, and she's very close with her family orientation, and she loves that they stayed here. She has gone to visit Bliss Bay a couple times, but she's always begged to come back. This is where she wants to be. She just loves it here. She never saw herself leaving. And so when she fell in love with her new boyfriend, they're going to find some big hiccups in life situations. Her traits are a mediator, and she lives a life of tranquility. Her strengths are she's very health positive, and she's loyal to the bone. Her weaknesses, she's a perfectionist, and she lives by structure. 8 o'clock this, 9 o'clock this. She lives by a tight structure. That doesn't go well with some people. She just enjoys day to day. She is literally a free spirit, and she wants to keep growing her professionalism in her yoga instructing. And she does want to have a true island family, and her goal is to keep going with her job because she wants to get this home in this land and build a new, bigger home for her and her family. She likes yoga, swimming, surfing, meditation, self-help books, caring for others, and plants. She dislikes clutter, laziness, video games, and alcohol. So as we were saying, Chantal did fall in love with someone, and she wasn't expecting it, and he is definitely polar opposite. Lucas is someone who just comes over to the island for vacation. He only comes here to vacation. He is from Bliss Bay, and he is an aspiring musician, aka idol. He likes the finer things in life. He's all about the glitz and glam. And when he was at the resort, he ran into Chantal when she was getting ready to instruct her yoga class. Well, he fell in love. He wasn't expecting it. And he decided to uproot and move to Cahaya for her. He knows that she does not want to leave this island, but he loves visiting Cahaya, so how hard could it be? He can still work on his music here. The culture here loves music. They would love him, but he's actually finding a hard time settling in. He had to get a part-time job. His music career isn't taking off the greatest, and he's realizing that island life is not glitz and lamb. The resort life is, but on the other side of the island, he tends to be struggling. He loves her. He's trying to make it work, but somewhere deep inside, he really wants to tell her, hey, we need to uproot. This isn't for us. Let's go to Bliss Bay. That's where your family's from. Let's try it out. Lucas is 22, a Leo. He's an aspiring musician, aka idol. He's originally from Bliss Bay. He's the oldest in the family. He's close with his father. He has bumps with his mother. His father was also a musician, so that's where he gets it from. His mother didn't want him to be a musician, wanted him to, of course, be something else, but he followed in his father's footsteps so far. He fell in love with music at a very young age, and he would come to Cahaya just to relax. Like I said, he goes here every year for a vacation, gets the natives a little wild, a little crazy, but he fell in love with Chantal, and he just uprooted and said, I'll move here for you. He is an entertainer. He wants a life of abundance. He's creative and straightforward, but his weakness is he's materialistic and he's very hard-headed. No one has really ever told him no, not because he's spoiled. It's just when he wants something, he just goes out and gets it, and he doesn't stop until it's his. His short-term goal is that he is just a driver right now. He's doing this just to get his feet on the ground, to get used to the life. But at the end, he wants to be a big-time idol, wants the big house, wants the cars, wants the fame and the fortune. But his greatest fear is that all of this is going to fall and he's not going to get anything because he doesn't really have a backup plan. Music was his plan. And he had it planned out, but Chantal was the addition that he wasn't expecting. He loves music, he loves dancing, he loves sports and cars. He dislikes being told what to do, reading, and cooking while he's making his own salad. But hey, you gotta make your own food from time to time. You gotta understand that. So they are very much in their early stages of the relationship. They're very lovey-lovey. They're always touchy-touchy. But eventually she's going to have those hard conversations with him, and he's going to have them. But he's also going to have them with her because he's slowly finding out that he doesn't know if this island life is cut out for him. He likes coming to visit. He likes having fun while he's here for a weekend, but living it day to day, it's coming to be a little rough. Now we're gonna run across another native. His name is Tamati, and he is our native farmer, and he is in his ways. His dad was a farmer. His dad was a farmer. He is all about the natural living in this farm life. He is Tati Uso. He is not a fan of the new resort that landed in Cahaya. He is about the natives and what they bring for each other, working together, and he's not a fan of all these new people that just started coming into Cahaya and bringing their loudness and their culture and the things that he's like, we don't need that here. He is trying to find love. He does want to find a family to expand his farm to because he doesn't want his farm to end with him. He wants the family, the life, but he also, he stands 10 toes down that island life is the way. Outsiders need to stay out, and we just let us be. Just let us be. So, Tamati is 35 years old. He's a Pisces. He is a farmer, and he loves being a farmer. He's born and raised in Cahaya. I would say it's a well-known family because they're like one of the biggest farmers on the island. He took over the family farm after generations on the island, and he's now ready to have a family. He took over his great-grandfather's farm, his father's farm, and he only knows life on the island, and he loves building generational wealth through the farm. But he's ready to make his own family and keep the farm alive. He's an explorer and life of devotion. He's very family oriented and a hard worker, but he doesn't know life outside of the island and doesn't take well to outsiders, as we said. So he doesn't really branch out to changing how things are done. He's like, this has worked for my ancestors, my father, my grandfather. Why can't it still work now? So he's very hard-headed in that aspect to try and do new things to balance his work life. He really wants to pass his family onto his farm. He's scared of not finding a wife because if no wife, no kids, the family farm dies with him, and that is that's the last thing he wants to happen. He likes farming, fishing, nature. He loves island life and animals. He dislikes being indoors, and he does not like technology. So he's definitely an old head in the best way to say, an old head in a younger body, kind of in the sense. But his house, he's very basic. Like, he is I guess you would say a man's man. He likes to work out. His farm is growing. He needs to get something started for the season. But this is what he loves, and he's trying his best to get life going for him. So as we have our storyline and our families here, hopefully you have enjoyed meeting the residents of Cahaya. Like I said, this is a save file that I have been working on and storylines I've put together with character sheets, and we're gonna have a lot of fun playing this. This is something I've always wanted to do and definitely wanted to pull together. So let me know down in the comments how you're interested in seeing how this family plays out. Which family are you most interested in seeing how things go? And if you've seen my lives before, or any type of videos I play, I really enjoy interaction with the chat or comments. If there's things that you want to see happen, we can try and pan it out to see how it goes. So let me know in the comments any suggestions you want to see certain family members go through or struggle with, and etc., to make this really fun to see how we can kind of make a telenovela of a legacy challenge, kind of with all the families intermingled. Because as we play this, all these families are in the same save file, so they were all intermingled with each other. Like I said, Jada is best friends with Chantel. And I have a feeling that Asuelu is kind of going to try and move in on Chantel as well to make that a little interesting. How will Lucas pan out? And who will Tamati find for his love? And so much more. So I want to thank you guys for checking out this Meet the Cahaya residents. And I can't wait for you to check out the first episode that we have and how things play out here. Let me know what you think of InZoi as a whole as well. How are you playing? How are you enjoying it? Remember, this is still in early access, so report any bugs or glitches that you may find so the devs can work on that and get things situated. Remember to use my InZoi creator code. It is free support if you're enjoying any of the content or shares that I'm doing with InZoi. It charges you nothing. It's just free support as a creator to let them know that I'm giving you the content that you love and enjoying. So don't forget to thumbs up, subscribe, hit that little bell so you don't miss any of the next videos, and I cannot wait until we meet here again. Have a good rest of your day or night wherever you are, and this is Lunagalaxy out.